Norm, I will go to you first. You've been inside the White House when there have been leak situations. What's going on right now, and how significant is it that the president asked for the DOJ to, of course, request?
Well, Liz, thanks for having me. It's nice to be with you in person in New York. I think when every presidency faces these leaks, and particularly at the beginning of a presidency when you have a transition, the information comes out. I think it can be nerve-wracking here where you have allegations of criminal conduct going in both directions, people raising questions about General Flynn, about who else knew and about when they knew, and the president today raising questions about whether laws were violated in sharing this information. I can tell you it makes for a pretty tense atmosphere in the White House. Digestion a little less good in the White House mess today.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Indigestion. Blake, you know, he stuck up for General Flynn, even though he fired General Flynn. He even said, the wording he used today was, I asked for his resignation, but, quote, he did nothing wrong. Regardless, this only adds a huge block of ice, it would seem, between the intelligence community and the president at this point. What jumped out at you in this news conference?
There was so much in here, Liz.
I know.
I think you hit it off right at the top there, that there was, you know, obviously the news on the Department of Justice with the leaks that the president had called, him defending General Flynn, saying he's a good man. The reason why he was fired was basically because he lied to the vice president, or at least let him down. But this whole Russia thing, I mean, it dominated everything.
Yeah, but he also, and Blake, he also really continually went after the media.
Yes.
Was a little uncomfortable at that point. And again, we stand with other reporters at other networks on many occasions. So this is less of, oh, well, let them attack CNN. You know, we're good on this side. Does it get tense and sort of uncomfortable there?
It was, you know, it was almost like I was thinking about this a second ago. It was almost like a football game where, like, in the fourth quarter, the crowd's more into it than in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You know, or in the second and third quarter. That's kind of what it felt like. That, like, as this press conference was going on, it just got ratcheted and ratcheted and ratcheted up. Some of that was, you know, in small part, some of it was the reporters and jumping up and the interaction. But they also fed off of the president basically saying, you guys are peddling fake news. Yeah. And you guys are dishonest, and you need to be put on notice. So when you get this back and forth going on, you know, it just only adds fuel.
Yeah, it was ruminating at certain points. Norm, talking about what it's like to be inside the White House as everyone's wondering about leaks. What happens at that point? Do people start closing their doors when they're having phone conversations? Is there suspicion?
Well, I can imagine now the White House counsel's office, where I sat many times. Certainly Don McGahn is at the center, the White House counsel. He's at the center of the Flynn issue. He's the one who was told by DOJ, hey, General Flynn's comments were not accurate. We've intercepted. Imagine what it felt like when he read those intercepts of Flynn saying something very different to the Russian ambassador than he'd claimed publicly. And, of course, McGahn's been in other situations.
But I guess, is there fear and loathing? Is Bannon looking at so-and-so, and is so-and-so looking at Kushner, and who knows?
Liz, there was fear and loathing before the leaks. This is a team of rivals. Donald Trump thrives on that. You talk about a football game, it's a scrum. Of course, it's no game when we talk about the football in the White House, because he has the nuclear football. And so I think it creates a heightened sense of tension, and I do think that there may be other shoes to drop on these Flynn revelations. Who else knew, and when did they know it? That is going to create additional issues. So, yes, I think some of those other staff are looking over their shoulder. The president's signal of, even though he let Flynn go, his signal of loyalty and support, I think, is intended more for those other White House staffers than for Flynn. He's saying, I have your back, even though I just fired one of you.
Okay.